Welcome to Dr. Walls and Friends here on the Sisters in Harmony Network. We are live in St. Lucia at the Cocoa Palm, and we have the honor of being joined by Rob Taylor. How are you doing this evening?
I'm good. Good to be here. Yeah. It's in the last lap of the Jazz Festival.
Yes.
It's been a busy week, and it's been an interesting week. It's been really good. There's been a lot of buzz around here, a lot of bands playing, and musicians around and stuff. It's been really good.
We had the honor of hearing you on Tuesday at the Fire Grill, yes. And you were jamming.
Yeah, I had a good time, and I do my solo gigs, but I also do my band gigs as well. When I play with my band, it's like a whole different energy.
Yes.
I come alive.
Yes.
More so,
I would say so. I was happy, there was some space because it was like, I'm like, he's jumping.
Yeah.
And I
a little too much at times. There was a moment I actually dropped my saxophone.
Did you?
Which was like, what the heck, But my sax strap broke. And it just fell. I was like, oh, that kind of shocked me for a minute. But it's all part of the performance, I guess.
There you go. It was funny because all the lights and stuff were changing colors up top, and you were one of the few artists that I've seen where I felt as though the lights and the music matched each other.
All right.
It was the same type of energy.
Good.
So yeah, it was great. It was great. Now, musical influences. What were some of them? How did you get involved in music?
Well, that's an interesting question because I find myself now that the last few years I'm actually singing as well as I'm playing sax. I'm actually going back to a lot of the songs I guess subliminally listened to, in a sense. I'm growing up with my parents, music of the 70s, like James Taylor and Jim Croce and artists like this. And Simon and Garfunkel. But as far as my sax playing is concerned, Grover Washington Jr. is my man. I mean, I love his tracks. Gerald Albright, a lot of people kind of tag me and name me as the Kenny G of the Caribbean, I guess, because I guess I do have quite a sweet, soulful, inspirational sound to when I play, and that I don't think that's a bad thing either. I think it's a good thing to be associated with someone like Kenny G as a very successful artist.
Yes.
And I strongly believe, especially in my playing, less is more. I think you can play one or two notes, and the passion and the emotion you put behind those notes comes across and touches your audience, and sometimes a lot more than playing 100 notes a minute.
It's the truth. Yeah. It's definitely the truth. I was really surprised because I was only thinking of you as playing the sax, and I love the sax, and I didn't realize how much I loved it. My father played the alto sax, and so as a child, it was just Daddy's playing a big horn,
right.
That was it. And he made sure that we all played instruments as well. But then when I became a vocalist, I realized it was the sax that I most enjoyed singing along with. And so when I was watching you play, and then next thing you know, you're singing, I said, oh my goodness, his lungs, how was he doing?
Sometimes I wonder too. I get out of breath. Sometimes, you have to find that balance between, being very physically active on stage and also pacing yourself as well, so you can actually sing and blow at the same time. Because what I've realized too is, it's a different tension in your vocal cords and in your muscles in your neck too, for when you're singing and when you're playing sax. So it's a bit of a transitional period within a split second you've got to go through to kind of conform to that, whether you're singing or playing sometimes. So but it's interesting, and as I said, I've for the last couple of years I've gotten into singing a lot more and found I'm a lot more comfortable in my skin in terms of my singing and the style that I prefer as well. And I also realize as well, I think whether you're here down in the Caribbean or up in America or in Europe, it's very difficult to really kind of get on the mainstream as purely as an instrumentalist. And so there's also some strategy in there as far as me singing as well, because then you can expose yourself to a bit more mainstream radio as well. And I actually really do like singing a bit more of the commercial type of reggae, pop, soul type of music as well. So that's really kind of where I feel comfortable too.
It's interesting because you're also a songwriter as well. And so being a musician as well as a vocalist, with your songwriting, what would you say, how's the interplay between the two? Do you hear the lyrics first? Do you hear the music first? Or does it just depend on what?
there's no definite answer to that really. It really is what inspires me, I guess. You know, sometimes you're working in the studio and you're building a track and then from there it grows into melody as well. Or you know, you sit down and you write music. You know, you write songs, I should say, and then you try and put that to music. Or you come up with melodies. Well, sometimes when I'm driving down to the south of the island to work, that's my time when I've got an hour and a half in the car where it's just me and my music, and I can, you know, I can thrash things out. I can start singing some of my songs and you know, work on melodies and things like that. So you know, it really, they take on different forms really in terms of the songwriting and composing as well, and whatever mood you're in at the time as well.
Yeah.
Sure.
So now tell us about your latest album, the name of it, and what was the inspiration behind it?
Okay, my latest album is called Destiny, and I actually started to record that album about 3 years ago, write and record the album, I should say, because I had the opportunity of going to Jamaica and working with a producer called Clive Hunt, who is an older gentleman and very sought after and well known, renowned in the music industry, especially in Jamaica, and from Tough Gone days right through to present day, really, what he's doing as well. And so I had the opportunity of working with him and producing with him, also with Sly and Robbie at Berry's Hammond Studio, Harmony House in Kingston. And you know, I wanted to create an album that was a little different from the first album in the sense that it was a bit more, obviously, towards reggae, because I was working in Jamaica as well, and I wanted that authentic Jamaican sound to the album. And obviously a little bit more commercial, so it could break through some boundaries, if you like, of not only Caribbean music, but it had the North American and European appeal as well. And my approach to writing as well is more so, I guess, like Alicia Keys and John Legend, where they write music where you can hear the strong influence of the piano with the vocals. So the way I write too is with the strong influence of the sax or horn line somewhere with the vocals as well. So yeah, I wrote, I'd say, at least half of that album in the Destiny album in Jamaica, and then I continued and finished it down here in our studio down here, and worked with a number of different people. And I wanted to really make it a well-rounded album and incorporate a number of other songwriters on the album as well, songwriters and producers as well, and different musicians, just to kind of give it a bit more roundness, you know, of input, you know. There was more dynamic to the album and the structure of the songs and more input, so it had that live feel as well.
Okay. Now, for people who are interested in purchasing your music online or coming to see you, what's the best way for them to purchase the music and find out where you are?
Okay, well, they could check out my website. My website is my name, www.robzytaylor.com, and also on Facebook as well, robzytaylor.com. On there you can access my music, you can find out more about me, and the music is available not only in hard copy through cdbaby.com, but also iTunes and Rhapsody, Napster, Music Match, Sony, a bunch of other online digital download sites as well. So you know, through my website you can access various links to different media and music outlets.
Perfect.
Through there,
Perfect. Now, since I've been here, like I said, I've had the opportunity to talk to several local artists, and one of the topics that kept coming up was the idea that many times music or the arts is considered a hobby and not necessarily a profession. So what are some words of encouragement or inspiration to those people who want to pursue music and this is their passion?
I would say stay true to what you believe in. You know, practice hard and become very proficient in your instrument, whatever instrument it may be, whether it's your voice or an actual instrument, piano, sax, whatever it may be. And believe in yourself. You know, believe in yourself. Be very humble. You know, I find from working with people over the years down here as well, you know, there's this feeling that when you've recorded a song and you maybe get a bit of airplay on the radio, you're a big star. It doesn't happen like that, you know, and unfortunately some artists, it really does go to the head a little too quickly, and then they are not as humble as when they started and wanted to be in a recording studio and that kind of situation with people, and you know, your attitude, whether it's a good one or a bad one, will really affect how far you will go in this business, and like any other business really, and your relationships too. You know, it's very much about networking and your relationships and your attitude and approach to the business and to people. You know, but yeah, stay true to your music, stay true to what you believe in. Don't try to sound like somebody else, because that person is already there.
That's
you
right.
know, you need to sound like yourself and be unique and offer something that's different.
All right, you heard it right here from Robside Taylor himself. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
You're
I know
welcome.
this is
It's
a busy weekend.
Oh, it was lovely to meet you guys.
You as
Finally,
well.
you know,
Yes.
Skyping all this time, and lovely to actually meet you all in person. So thanks very much for your time as well.
All right, we'll be back soon on Dr. Walls and Friends.